Weighing a soul in the balance as a form of judgment is not limited to ancient Israel. In the Egyptian Book of the Dead, a man is judged by placing his heart on a balance and then weighed against the feather of what is right. The archetype behind the scales of justice, in the Bible and elsewhere, is that of the twins. The crescent on the body of Saturn rotated around the central hub of the nested Venus and Mars. During what is now considered day, the crescent and semicircle were at their dimmest in comparison to the bright light of the sun. At midnight, with the absence of the light of the sun, they were at their brightest, David Talbot explains.
In the ancient planetary configuration, the crescent, the mythic ship of heaven, was descending to the left at sunset and beginning to grow more bright amidst the darkening sky. The ship achieved its greatest splendor when the crescent reached its position directly below, at midnight. The ship's brightness then began to diminish as it rose to the right, and it was at its weakest when directly overhead. In today's reckoning of time, that would be called noon.
The dark hemisphere was the crescent in the upper position, here shown on the left. The bright hemisphere was on the bottom, shown on the right. It is not the amount of surrounding sunlight that determines the brightness or dimness of the crescent. It is the brightness or dimness of the crescent itself along with its semicircle. The twins motif was more than two opposite crescents. It also included the two opposite hemispheres or regions. The cups of the scales of justice included both crescents, but also both hemispheres divided by the plasma streams, whether the halves were right and left or above and below. The balance beam is formed by the plasma streamers extending to the center from each twin, or cup, above and below, or left and right. The balance beam is supported by a fulcrum in the center of the arms, where the streamers meet and Mars and Venus are positioned. The stand is represented by both vertical plasma streamers. The hand holding the scales, normally the hand of Lady Justice, is the hand of God. The writing of the law on the two tablets or tables is described in Scripture and in legend. There are two tablets as there are two twins. Exodus records that there were two tablets with the testimony or written law on both sides. The tablets were made by God, and it was His handwriting upon them. And we note that, like the one hand and the other hand of the Kabbalah Tree of Life, the two tablets were on one side and on the other. The testimony was written on the two tablets with the finger of God. This is the imagery of the twins, where the hand of God is in the center of the twins, in this case the tablets. Deuteronomy clarifies that the finger of God was on the right hand. However, according to Jewish legend, the Torah and the tablets it was written on were made and written very early in the creation, even before the creation of heaven and earth. The writing of the Torah or the law on the two tablets with black fire on white fire uses the mythic formula of one bright twin and one dim or dark twin. The lap of God is within the center of the enclosure created by the twins.